Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about post offices and post roads, not what you think. This is the Constitution down on page 3, Article 1, Section 1, Clause 7 to establish post offices and post roads. We're going to look at what that actually means, not what we've been told to believe, but what's the truth. We're going to look to this book here, Officer's Manual by Major James A. Moss, 24th U.S. Infantry, 1917. And we're going to look at post offices. There's not really a whole lot mentioned on post roads, if anything, because post roads are really not something that we need to concern ourselves about, except for that post roads are usually on the military posts, just like post offices are, and we have a variety of types of post offices, and sometimes the post office is dependent upon what the command has been established for. So there are some military posts that have schools on them. There's some, military schools. There's some military posts that have military prisons on them. There's some military posts that are specifically for ordnance. There are naval military posts. Some have ships, some have airplanes, and some are mixed and have several different commands on one military post, and each command would have different types of post offices. So, post is a military post, a military federal fortification is a post. Chapter 6, we have the post adjutant, the post quartermaster, the post commissary, post recruiting office, post exchange officer, post prison officer. These would be different offices on the military post. They're called post offices. These are not mail places. These are on military post types of post offices. The artillery district might have a post ordnance officer, and he'll have a post office. Post engineering officer will have a post office, and the post artillery engineer will have his post office. The district artillery engineer, he'll probably have a post office, and the post signal officer will have a post office. Paperwork people usually have offices. They're called post offices since they're on post administration. Post athletic officer might have a post office. He's a post recruiting officer, and he'll have an office on post. The post range officer. And then we go to here and we see different posts. We go down to P and this index, which they put in the front of the book, I think is rather convenient. Post adjunct. And the post adjunct might do several different things. And to do these things, he would have a post office, the post adjunct's office. Post administration would have a post administration office. Post quartermaster would have a post office, and the quartermaster would maintain the post regulations. Post range officer, post recruiting officer, post schools, post council of administration proceedings, post engineer office, post exchange officer, post schools for soldiers, post signal officer. He'll have a post office. He has duties, and to perform those duties, he would probably need a post office. Post exchange regulations, post gossip. Isn't that interesting? There's a gossip on post. You can find the post gossiper somewhere on post. Post non-commissioned staff. So these are the non-commissioned staff officers on the post. They might not have a post office, and they may have a post office. I don't know. Post of the Manila, rubber stamps, systems of endorsements, the post office or the post ordinance officer, post prison officer, post regulations regarding prisoners, and post regulations. The post is the military post. Some post positions have offices because that's where they do paperwork. And if you're going to do paperwork on post, you probably need a post office, but not a mailroom. A mailroom is something completely different. Let's see if they have mailroom in here. Let's go to FME. Where am I? Yes, those are my big dogs barking. MAJ. They don't have mailroom in here. Let's do a search. They probably have a mail post office. Official mail registration. Official mail registration of official mail. Official mail does not require a post stamp, does it? No, it doesn't, because it's official. The registration official mail stamps postage for official mail. It's not called a post office. The mailroom is not called a post office. It may have an office and it may be on post, but it's not called a post office. And they would drive around on post roads until you get off the post, and then you're driving around on state roads. And the state roads are supposed to also be used for military people, but they're not called post roads, they're called roads. So post offices are offices on a post, and that's what's in the federal constitution. Just because we have a post office or a United States post office that we're all allowed to go to doesn't mean that that's the post office that they're talking about in the constitution. The constitution's talking about the military offices on military post and the roads on military post used by the military. Like, share, subscribe.